participation of the towns that participate in that, why would it be only on our burden? Secondly, what was the acquisition cost for the property that the town owns? And we are now more or less giving it away, or partially giving it away without limitations or specification where on that property that it would be, without a master plan for developing the town of Alstead downtown, and also without knowing if Palm Mountain shelter goes away at some point, what would the building be used for? Could it be used for, God knows down the line, for accepting immigrants? We don't know. There are too many unanswered questions, and I agree with the gentleman that we need to kind of step back and reevaluate and get other participating towns involved. The solution maybe is other towns.
Susan, to answer her question, actually, to answer your question, March 11, 2008, Article 3, shall the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of not more than $245,000 gross budget to purchase 22 High Street, 11 Bragg Lane, tax map, blah, 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 a 16-acre parcel extending the entire length north side of the Cold River from the Village Bridge to Vilas Pool. Of this total, the sum of $150,000 is to be applied from fund balance. $20,000 is authorized to be withdrawn from Capital Reserve Fund and Parks Conservation established in 1996. $10,000 is authorized to be withdrawn from the town's Land Conservation Fund established in 1988, with the balance of not more than $65,000 to be taken from unreserved fund balance recommended by the Board of Selectmen, majority vote required.
Here's what they voted on.
Jamie.
James Denowitz, Alstead Center Road. I'm agreeing with what you're saying and what you're saying very much. I do also support the food shelf. But obviously I think you also got to look, well, if we were to say someday we, like he said, we even investigated it and said, hey, maybe, Alstead could really be revitalized, some restaurants, some businesses in there, looking on town common, maybe that brings people in, maybe you have an inn. Who knows what you might do with that property? And if you did something like that, the taxes from that might be $8,000 a year coming into the town. In a way, you could almost say if us and Waffle and Charlestown put $3,000 in, we'd be saving money based on, if we had someone in there now not paying that tax. And that, 3 towns alone, that'd be $9,000. That'd go a long way to paying what Langley wanted, and if they have the space. You're talking about trucks coming in and delivering food. I don't know about anyone else, but I really don't see that as a great place. Trucks to be pulling in and out. You got traffic coming this way, down over the hill, and that way. So I'm like everyone else, support it. I think it's too fast to go giving away land, and I think there surely would be even maybe a building or a house or something that, like I liked his idea. Hey, let's have a committee and find somewhere to put it right now and come up with a long-term solution. Because I think once you go and you just commit to a building there, you've locked that up. You've just created a big problem. And I agree with everyone's just moving too fast. I totally support that. That's 2 cents.
Are you editor? Okay. Sue?
Susan Estlinger, Alstead. I'd just like to say that the food shelf has moved around for a long time. It's saved the towns a lot of money. If you look at the welfare budget last year, no money was given to people for food. Everybody wants everything in somebody else's yard. That's not before this now, when we were talking about having senior houses. A lot of people didn't want it in their backyard. If you can put yourself in other people's shoes sometimes, and just think about the people that has helped. I mean, I can think of a lot worse things having in your backyard turned over to a life organization that provided food for other people, or that building would go back to the town. One of the reasons it hasn't been worked on more about what kind of a building it would be is the price. We've been researching grants. Nobody will give you a grant for anything until you have a place to put it. You can't get help. It's kind of like a catch-22. And so I don't want people to go away from here thinking that people are not doing their job and not doing the work. A lot of work is done. A lot of time has been spent by people. And I would encourage anybody to please try to come to our board meetings and help. Because we have a situation here where we have a very good, and maybe nobody wants anything else. But if you don't, then it's the people who support us so very much. Please help.
I'd like permission to speak. I'm not a voter.
I'm required to ask the assembled, is it all right if Joel speaks to this? He's a resident of another town, correct?
Okay with me.
Okay, Joel.
Thank you.
Identify.
My name is Joel Eaton. I am a resident of Ackworth and the pastor there at the United Church of Ackworth. I'm also a graduate of this fine middle school, year 2000. In my younger years, both in during the school activities, but also in church activities, can I turn this way? All right. I worked with the food shelf. We would do volunteer activities. We would help open boxes. We would can things on the shelves, put cans on the shelves. The food shelf, as you all know, is a vital part of the wider community and not just Alstead. And someone mentioned about support from other towns. I'm here representing that support, at least from Ackworth. We're a smaller town, but we are very alive and very supportive of the work that goes on in the food shelf and ongoing. Our church in particular continues to raise money and canned goods to donate to the food shelf. I personally, and I realize I have 3 minutes, so I'm going to try to be quick. I personally started volunteering at the food shelf last summer. I go once a week, and my job is to take the, like I did when I was a kid, take the stuff out of the boxes and bring from the food shelf to the Friendly Meals kitchen over on Bragg Lane and to the fire station in anticipation of Friendly Meals. So I have this job of transportation because I happen to have a good back. And I take the food from the food shelf to the kitchen. I take the food to the desserts down to the fire station. And I'll tell you, my job would be a lot easier if this was all in one place. But that's not what you're discussing here. I just want to say that this organization, not only is it an organization that's not just a nonprofit, that's an abstraction. A nonprofit in and of itself is just an abstraction. This is something that's actually meeting the needs, not only social needs of the community, but also legal needs of the towns, in the sense that each town in the Whole Mountain District has an RSA that it must provide food. Before I went and volunteered at the food shelf, I did not know how complicated of a process it is to run a food shelf that meets the needs of all these communities and all the communities that come into it. But the idea of just putting it into someone's house or a vacant sort of space, even the idea of putting it in the town hall as it is now, it just won't work. This is an operation that is very large. I encourage all of you to go, to volunteer, to go and look around and see what's going on, to hear the stories of the people that are going there, to see the young and the old receiving care, and to see the community that's built there. And